Hello and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2. We are currently playing through the closing chapter on Chiaki's route. After bold-faced lying to Takea over the phone and telling him we're on a ski trip, Chiaki's wondering who called. I'm sure she could probably figure. She knows Haruki's a liar. At this point, I mean, it's hard not to. Everybody does.
そんなのは別にいいよ。春樹の部屋なんてさ。
新聞の販売店からよくある勧誘だった。
Why does he lie to everyone every time?
さ。
そう。
もう起きる？
どうせ眠いんだろ、まだ。
まあね。
俺もこの格好で電話してたから寒くなってきた。
なら、おいで。
おいでも何も、俺のベッドだ。
あ、ほんとだ、冷た。
当たり前だ、冬だから。
Turn on your heater, man.
だからエアコンつければいいのに。
Exactly.
いらない。
どうしてよ。
ここはあったかい。それで十分だ。なんだよ、俺、何か変なこと言ったか。
温めてあげるね、春樹。
頼む。
I'm really sorry, Takea. But I'm alright. You don't have to be so worried about me. I'll be able to cheer up somehow by staying like this. Because, much like what Setsuna said, and much like what I said, nothing has changed between the two of us up until now. Which is true if you went about it in a healthy way and didn't lie to everyone. After all, it's been long over between us.
Haruki, ご飯できたよ。
やかましい。
Chiaki's loud voice echoes across my apartment, which is so small one could easily detect the faintest whisper. Even just her voice during those times is probably already a bother to the neighbors. I don't know what to do with her.
生まれてこの方、料理なんかやったことない千秋ちゃんが存分に腕を振るったというのにその言い草。
It is so weird to refer to yourself as Chan. That is so conceited.
カレーに火をかけて混ぜただけだろ。
それだけじゃないって。具が心もとなかったからいろいろ投入したし、味付けとか大変だったんだよ。
This is the 4th day in a row that we've not gone out of my apartment. Ooh, that is not very healthy. Dumping whatever leftover stuff we had from the fridge and cupboard into the curry that's practically become soup. We've been living off of food that's completely lost its original flavor.
お前、これ何入れた？
缶詰、焼き鳥とサバ味噌とツナと、あ、それからパイナップル、シロップごと。カレーにパイナップルって合うんだよね。昔漫画で読んだことあるから知ってるよ。
I'm sorry, that sounds nasty.
なら食ってみろ、千秋。
じゃあ、
ほら。
She most likely thought I'd get embarrassed. I offhandedly stuff a spoonful into her widely opened mouth that's waiting to be fed. Bleh. Specifically picking out the tuna and pineapple. Ugh, that's nasty. That's just sad.
いくらなんでもそろそろ買い物に行ってこないとな。
We're seriously running low on food supplies. There's no way 2 people can live off only rice, pasta, and seasoning for days. For now, I won't think about exactly how many days that is, or even what Chiaki is thinking, or what I hope for.
ああ、また休むのやめようとしてる。本当に吹っ切れるまで余計なこと考えないの。
See, I agreed with her at first on that, but dragging this out too long absolutely is not healing. opposite effect. But my strict doctor won't even allow me that amount of labor.
けどそろそろバイトも再開しないと。
Mari-san and everyone at the editing department, Sato, Nakagawa-san, Sugiura, and everyone at Goodies. It feels like I haven't seen them in a long time. I wonder if they're all doing okay. What a joke. The one that's not okay right now is obviously me. My stamina has probably dropped unbelievably low. Maybe I'll even have trouble walking outside. I'll take it slow and try going out starting tomorrow. It's about time I get back into my daily rhythm.
もしかしてお金足りない？
年越すくらいはあるけど、
サボっちゃいけないバイト？
年内はそういうのはないけど。
なら問題なし。年越しそばくらいなら私がおごってあげるからさ。もう少しのんびりしてなよ。
This is really not healthy.
そばだけかよ。
いや、おせちはちょっと。
Is she planning to keep me linger here in this room all the way through New Year's?
それはともかく食料くらいは買いに出ないと。お前パスタを塩コショウで炒めて食いたいか？
別に外に出かけなくてもさ、食料くらいいくらでも調達できるって。
Why are they so adamant about not going out anyway?
どうやって？
お、噂をすれば。はーい、今出まーす。
やめんか、俺が行く。
It's not that I'm blaming her for treating my place as if it were her own. It's just that she's about to go out to the front door, completely forgetting that she's in her underwear. Her laundered skirt is still drying. I don't think she
おそ
forgot.
ば。
I think she just doesn't care.
あと、飛騨牛はしゃぶしゃぶ用とステーキ用。サーモンに明太子にお惣菜詰め合わせ。栄養のバランスを考えてお野菜もあるよ。アスパラ、コーン、じゃがいもに人参。あとは贅沢品。ビールとチューハイ詰め合わせセット。はるき、後で乾杯しようね。
Chuhai is like a beer, but it's more frou-frou. It's a little bit sweeter usually.
なんで？
It took all of my effort to squeeze out that question. Having such an absurd amount of groceries delivered to my apartment that I'm not sure it would all fit in my fridge, even if it has been thoroughly cleaned out, has left me at a loss for words.
お歳暮シーズンをなめてもらっちゃ困るな。家に置いてあったギフトカタログをほんの数枚拝借してきただけだよ。
And I'm at an even bigger loss for words after hearing her reply.
うちの親、私立高の教師やってたから結構もらうんだ。それで時々申し込むの忘れて期限切らしちゃうし。まあ、有効利用よ、有効利用。
Could she actually be better than me at living independently despite how sloppy she is? I would not agree with that at all.
ね、これで冬休みくらい越せそうでしょ。なんならおせちも頼もうか。まだギフトあるよ。
I mean, taking coupons that don't belong to you and ordering food doesn't make you good at living independently. It just means you're mooching off somebody else.
もういい。
I raise both my hands, completely yielding to Chiaki. There's nothing I can do if she's gone to this extent. How much further into decadence do I need to sink before she's satisfied?
お、こっちも来てる。よかった。やっと届いたよ。
Chiaki has thrown every part of my life into disarray, from my schedules and my habits to my standards. She's spoiled me to the point where I'm unable to adapt back to society, accepting everything in front of me and isolating me from any form of negative stimulus. It's like I'm drowning in a substance reminiscent of bodily fluids, a lukewarm liquid near body temperature, and the sensation is slowly but surely eroding my mind. See, this is like borderline abusive, even if it's not meant to be done in a negative way, taking away someone's ability to be a part of society and saying, you don't need to talk to your friends, you don't need to talk to coworkers, you don't need to go to the store, just stay here. Like, you can see how dangerous that can become. I don't know how things will be like after a few days. But I can at least say this with confidence. With the way I am now, it'll take me at least a few days to actually get back to living out my life without Chiaki.
ねえ春樹春樹どう似合う着るものそろそろ寂しくなってきたからさ通販で申し込んでおいたんだ
千秋
Chiaki holds up her newly delivered clothes in front of her chest for me to see.
実はちょっといいお店の商品だからカードの限度額がやばいかもしれないんだけどさ
バカかお前
I'm the only person she's showing them to, and behind closed doors at that. What are you even thinking, wanting to dress up in front of me in such a decadent, polluted place like this? And besides, those are...
あのさ春樹
なんだよ
Chiaki takes off her camisole in front of me and throws it on the floor. She was never wearing a bra to begin with.
春樹が着せてよ
She slides the last piece of her clothing down using her 2 thumbs. And we'll come back to you when it is once again safe for work. So, welcome back. As you can imagine, Haruki and Chiaki ended up having some adult times together involving the new clothes that Chiaki bought. And they didn't use protection. That was the one thing that was, Chiaki insisted it was a safe day, but even so, please be very careful. That's my don't try this at home obligatory warning. I'm always in this dark room lately, waking up to the cold without an inkling of the time. When I look at the bedside clock with sleepy eyes, I see that it's 9 o'clock. There's a small ray of light coming in through the curtains, so it must be morning.
寒いっておい
This is something that's happened a few times in the past few days. And it's all because of a certain someone with bad sleeping habits pulling the blanket away while we're sleeping. Moreover, since we're practically sleeping naked, the parts of our bodies not touching each other turn freezing cold. There are times when I think, what if I realized too late? And shudder at the consequences.
こら布団返せ千秋
There are 3 ways to deal with this kind of situation. I could take the more forceful approach as my first option and take the blanket from the insolent little thief and retaliate by kicking her hard. Wow, okay. You don't have to kick her if you take the blanket back. Then I have the alternative of snuggling the haughty usurper with my freezing body, giving her an immediate taste of the suffering I had to go through, a choice that would be quite petty if slightly sweet and spoiled of me. And another option would be to simply be honest with my own desires, to kick her, snuggle up to her, and passionately punish that plunderer's body as she wakes up.
おい千秋千秋
As I ponder about those silly things, I feel to my right and seek the usual soft, warm skin. However, I've made 2 miscalculations. The first is that the blanket wasn't pulled away from me. It's covering my body properly. The other is that my usual heater is gone. The one beside me that warms me with her soft skin.
千秋
She's not in the bed. That's why it's cold.
千秋
She's not in my apartment. That's why I... How polite, still knocking. It doesn't even take 10 seconds to search for a person in this apartment of mine. I open all of the doors. It only takes a little time to confirm that she isn't here. But I took almost 10 times as long to realize the fact Chiaki's not here right now. When I open the curtains, despite it being cloudy, I squint my eyes at the brightness of the sky, which I haven't seen in a while. Unable to grasp the scenery that suddenly comes into view, I stagger slightly. I force my head up quite pathetically and slowly look around the brightened room. The clothes are supposed to be here. The ones she stripped and tossed aside that I folded neatly and placed beside the pillows while I complained. The underwear is supposed to be here, the ones I had washed and hung up to dry while I scolded her for not caring. And the coat that was put away in the closet ever since she came here. That's 1 out of 3. Or to be more precise, 1/2 out of 3. Her coat is gone, her spare clothes are gone, her underwear. Only 1 set is gone. Next, I checked her bag. Her huge luggage packed with all sorts of stuff, including the silly Santa outfit, spare clothes, and an economy-sized box of condoms, is still sitting in its usual place in the corner of the room. 1.5 out of the 3 this time. The bag is obviously here, but the pouch containing her valuables is missing. And I'm not sure whether it's a good thing or bad thing, but she left her cell phone behind. That is the most obnoxious out of everything he's said so far. Because it's not abnormal for someone to go out of the apartment. Maybe she wanted breakfast, maybe she got a call from a friend, like normal things. But yeah, leaving your cell phone behind, not good. What conclusion can I draw from all of the above? At the very least, Chiaki isn't here right now. Then where exactly did she go? If you think about it normally, she should be close by. It's probably just a short outing to the convenience store. At any rate, it seems she only took some cash and her credit card. The clothes and luggage she brought here are still scattered about in the room, as if to emphasize that she's having her way here. Even her cell phone, an essential item, is here. There's no way she's not returning. I plop down in the middle of the room and breathe out a huge sigh of relief. But once I feel relieved, irrational anger and the urge to grumble and lecture her start to well up inside. Why did you go out without telling me? Don't you know the importance of communication? It'll be very worrisome if you're still like this when you head out into society after graduation. Things like that. How can I corner her in the most nasty way? What kind of punishment will make her happy? Will she be able to endure? Oh my god. As these evil thoughts surface one after the other, my heart is finally able to calm down. It's foolish to ask myself the question, why am I relieved at this stage? Isn't it obvious that I'd be relieved? $10.
10時
I mean, it's been what, an hour? The long needle on the clock finally pointed up. It really felt like ages. How many 100 times did I glance at the clock during this time? The sky is still cloudy and the temperature in the room is still low. But I remain sitting on the floor with a blanket over my shoulders, looking just like I did when I woke up. If you think about it normally, she should be close by. It's probably just a short outing to the convenience store. Who was the idiot that came up with that nonsense? Wow, calm down. I know all too well in my mind that there's no reason for me to open all the doors within my apartment. Despite that, I can't help but open them. I can't help but want to confirm that no one's there. I know all too well that the one place I have to check is outside the front door. Even so, I can't open that door. Just think about it for a minute. Chances are low that I'll be able to find her even if I go search outside. There's a much higher possibility that we'll end up missing each other. If that happens, she won't be able to come back in because there's no way I'm heading out without locking the door. I should have given her a spare key. No, actually, she should have taken her cell phone. Just what is she thinking? That idiot.
何考えてんだ俺のバカ。
That's right. She'll obviously come back, so what am I even worried about? But this is Chiaki I'm talking about. I just can't tell how she feels at all. There's no way she'll just never return after leaving even her cell phone behind, right? And isn't that why I can't get in touch with her right now? Is that not why I have absolutely no idea where she is right now, or even where she plans to go? Haruki is so messed up over this tiny little thing. And they've only been reclusive for like a week. Not even a week, because the 24th to the 30th. So it's been 6 days, and he is already this dependent and messed up. Haruki really needs a stronger sense of self. The bedside clock shows that it's almost 11 o'clock, so it has been 2 hours. I don't know if the sky is clear outside. After all, night has returned to my apartment. Oh, okay, never mind. It has been 14 hours then. I couldn't stand to stare at the bright city scenery.
寒いってばよ。おい。
That's why the only thing I'm sure of right now is that the room is still cold. Even with a blanket wrapped around me, the cold air still reaches every part of my body. It's cold to the point that I can't stop trembling. I rub my shoulders, I hug my knees, my teeth are chattering. But that's weird. 30 minutes ago, I couldn't stand the cold, so I turned on the heater. But something still feels off. My body is drenched in sweat, cold sweat that feels like it could freeze over. I ultimately find even the act of sitting down tiresome and slump onto the floor. I don't have a fever. Rather, it's the opposite. My body temperature is dangerously low. It may look like my body is not feeling well, but the reality is the problem lies elsewhere. Just what is she doing? Suddenly disappearing after cornering me into this situation? Just what is she thinking? She was the one who forcibly admitted me into a hospital. My very own apartment, that is. And she was the one who had constantly nursed me. But the moment I woke up this morning, my exclusive nurse was gone. Pressing the call button won't connect me to the nurse's station either. For a nurse who declared outright that she'd look after me, she cast me aside even before the end of my rehabilitation.
Chiaki.
No, I'm wrong, aren't I? You'll be back, right? She's just gone for 2 hours. What am I freaking out about? I can't believe myself. Okay, so night was just an allegory. It's not actually nighttime. He just closed the curtains. 2 hours, and he's panicking so much like this. That is ridiculously dependent. How many times do I have to repeat myself? No one would ever disappear leaving behind their clothes and cell phone. But she's not the type of person to be bound by clothes or valuables. She's the type of person to say something like, "Ah, I'll go get them someday, so leave them there for now." And it wouldn't be surprising at all. You'll come back, right? You'll come back, right? You'll come back, right? Please, Chiaki, don't leave me like this. At this rate, I'll remember again what happened 3 years ago. I won't be able to sleep again. I'll end up remembering that time when I was not the victim, but the offender. See, she didn't help him get over it. She was just distracting him from it. And that is a huge difference. He needs to be able to get over it and come to terms with it so he can live out his own life with whoever he chooses. Was this what you had to endure? Why?
Tadaima.
My goodness, how embarrassing.
はるき、まだ寝てる？寝てるなら、千秋ちゃんラブリーって返事して。よしよし、いい子いい子。それじゃ、今すぐ温めて。
She screamed because she unknowingly kicked a big object, which was lying on the ground.
はるき？
I reply softly with my back to her.
ありゃ、起きちゃってた。
お前な、11時だぞ。俺のことどんだけ怠け者だと思ってんだ。
ごめん、ちょっとコンビニ行ってた。通販用の口座にお金振り込みたかったし。
あ、そう。
This is a completely expected development.
そしたらさ、久しぶりだから新刊だらけじゃん。ついつい立ち読み始めちゃってさ。
Very common in Japan, just picking up books or magazines and reading them in the store without purchasing.
雑誌くらい買えよ。お店の人に悪いと思わないのか。
そうは言ってもさ、こっちも先立つものがね。ほら、春樹を誘惑するために使い込んじゃったし。
You really haven't spent all that much on us, unless you count the lingerie, which really wasn't... I mean, how expensive could it be to clear out your whole bank account?
俺のせいにするな。
If you consider Chiaki's behavior pattern, it's the expected flow of events with a greater than 95% chance of happening.
さてと、起きてんなら一緒にご飯食べよっか。春樹、おにぎり鮭とシーチキン、どっちがいい？
いいよ、俺。
ゆうべもあれだけ激しい運動したじゃん。食べとかないと今夜持たないよ。
別に腹減ってないし、もう少し寝るから。
ああ、じゃあ私も二度ね。
お前は飯食ってればいいだろう。退屈ならまた出かけたらどうだ。
And he's acting like, kind of like a brat, honestly.
春樹？
In the end, without even turning to face Chiaki once, I slip into the bed and cover myself with my blanket, shutting her out. I'm just doing the natural thing in response to Chiaki's natural actions.
何？どうしたの春樹？もしかして具合でも悪い？
別に全然。
However, it seems like Chiaki doesn't think that way and is perplexed by my behavior.
なんかいつにも増して反応が淡白じゃない？
淡白で悪かったな。生まれつきこんなもんだ。
ひとたびスイッチが入るとあんなにねっちっこいのにね。
おやすみ。
ちょっと春樹、どうしたのよ一体。
As if confused, she shakes me back and forth as I continue to hide under the blanket. Noisy, irritating, bothersome. Just leave me alone already.
なんでもないって言ってるだろ。
If you're going to get involved with me so half-heartedly, then just stop it.
あ ちょっと何すねてんの？おーい、はるきってば。
見るな。
Ooh. Alright, before we get deep into it, we will stop there. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Chiaki's Route, and we'll be back with more shortly. Until then, I hope you take care. See you!